And we are live. Hello, folks. We are back with another episode of The Vice. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday and staying warm, as I know that a lot of the country is in cold places. Let's meet our cast, and then we'll jump right in as we get back into our story. First up is Dragons or Cats?
Hello, everyone. I am Dragons and Cats coming all the way from On Fire, Australia, but I am safe and everything is good. And family is all fine as well. And I am playing Vidar Lycra, Hexblade of Lysithea, the Soul Forged Eclipse, and all around pest.
uh, Speaking of pests, next up is Templar Warden.
I'm... what? Hello! I am Templar Warden, a resident pest. I come from New Zealand, that explains it. I am playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi Wizard, who is not a lich, who is not tempted by dark evil powers at all. This is fine.
Yeah, more Axel being a pestilence
Lich.
and plague and death and basically all four horsemen put in one. Next up is Bird versus Plane.
Hey folks, I'm Bird vs. Plane. I'll be playing Iskatol, the half-elf bard turned gunslinger, and definitely not annoying or a pest at all. Really just the rock and foundation upon which our party is founded, I think, right? Not a whole lot of backing me up on that, so I'm going to take that silence as agreement. Let's move forward.
Sure. Next up is Good Guy Pie.
Hello everyone, I am Good Guy Pie. I will be playing Luck Goldheart, Adventure Extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation Pit and moral quandaries and stuff like that. You know,
Just trying to be lawful good in a not lawful good world.
tinfoil hat time.
Trying to be lawful good with a whole bunch of chaotics.
Pretty much. And chaos. Speaking of chaos, Tree Hugging Druid.
Hello, I'm Trading Druid. I am Chaos. I'm playing Celia Rollerin, our high elf rogue. She is sneaky. And also for today's episode, I'll be playing Luna, our Water Genasi monk.
And that leaves me. I am Tall Squall. I am your DM for this session. Welcome you to our channel. We are a channel that's been going for about 3 years now. This is episode 118 of our campaign, which blows all of our minds. Things are starting to wrap up a little bit, though. Lots of pieces and parts starting to come together. But one thing that we always do, is run our channel 100% for charity. This month, we begin our campaign, as we always do this time of year, for Toys for Tots. It is an amazing organization. I volunteered for them for decades, not even kidding. And I encourage you to do so as well. If you'd like to donate money, you are welcome to donate that. Hey, Mecha Spider, thank you for those bits. If you'd like to donate money to our station, it goes directly to Toys for Tots. If you'd like to subscribe to our station, that also, all $5 goes directly to Toys for Tots. Well, the other things you can do, just retweet our channel, watch, have a great time. And if you'd like to go visit the Toys for Tots website themselves to find out how you can donate a toy, because I know that some of the fun of that is going and shopping and finding toys that you like and putting them in the box at your local collection centers, which are usually outside all of your big places that are purveyors of toys or even groceries. So go look for those boxes out there. The other thing you can do, if you'd like to volunteer, they always, I've done this, my engineering department does this, they always need people to go and put together bicycles as they get closer to Christmas. So about mid-December, get in touch with your local chapters, as they probably are going to have a big old bicycle assembly operation going on for all the bicycles that are donated from corporations and companies. And it's a great thing to do. You will turn lots of wrenches and make some kids' dreams come true as they find that bicycle underneath of the tree. So with that, that's pretty much all about the channel and about us. If there's any more announcements, we'll go into our intro, and then we will try to catch you up on 100 sessions of story, not really, on just what happened last time, and jump right back into it for what we're about to do today. So we welcome you to The Vice. Let's make sure I've got the right things muted. OBS updated, and instead of adding in the intro music at the top of my mixer, it added at the bottom. So I, unfortunately, muscle memoried and muted the wrong channels. But anyway, so to catch you all back up on what's going on, the party is currently at the Cathedral of Purity, a large complex of buildings, a political organization, in fact, and religion that has been a big part of their adventuring lives. They are not the kindest of folks out there. Let me mute the music this down. And but through some really incredible planning, decision-making, frightening Axel ideas, they seem to have turned around basically the course of this religion that sort of imparted themselves into a lot of the sort of downtrodden citizenry of this continent, and brought them together, unfortunately, underneath some really bad ideas, and now have sort of opened their eyes. And the cathedral, having once been the old school of bards, thanks again, Mecha Spider, out in High Mountain, this sort of, the Dulcimer Riverlands are a sort of wide, sprawling, think sort of like New Orleans, Mississippi Delta type area is the Dulcimer Riverlands. And this old school basically started to sink into the Delta and then was taken over by the Temple of Purity, turning the old theater into their main worship space. At the end of our last episode, with Iska, our bard, sort of at the lead, sort of transformed it back into that theater space, as having music and fellowship of all this what had once been a congregation, now more just a group of people, understanding that they had been deceived, understanding that they needed to take a new direction. The one big, the one big question that still remains, there's a mysterious area underneath of the old tower that was not explored. They have rescued Luna's teacher, who taught her to be a monk. They've rescued the Genasi, who were there performing in the choir, using their inherent racial ability as Genasi to control some of the wild magic that flows across our world. And we found Celia's sister, who had been taken. We found someone they never met, but had met her father, Lily, a young Air Genasi, who was the leader of the choir, or for some reason was a very special member of the choir. They've recovered the staff of the elements. A lot of stuff got done, but there still remains what was really going on here. After fighting a demon up in Chaplain Beldrick, who we now know is actually a necromancer from the Arcana Mystica, up in his chambers, summoning a pit fiend, which they banished back to his own realm, but left some frightening and interesting artifacts for our Tabaxi wizard, Axel. And I think that's where we will pick up. Sort of after this performance, it was almost dinner time when it was happening. It's middle of summer, so still a lot of sunlight and daylight left. Sun doesn't go down here till 8, 9 o'clock. So what would the party like to do and finish up their day? Hey, Cryo, Fernando, all the gang.
Well, I guess the question is, are we hitting the basement now, or are we taking an hour to catch our breaths before we go down there? We're doing it tomorrow morning. How are we all feeling?
But I was actually doing a nice little sway after the music's been played, and you've come down, I'm guessing, from doing your performance piece. And he's just like, I'm good. I'm actually really, really good. To be honest, I'm very sorry about focusing on the mask before. I don't know. That was just something that I just had to have to focus on. But I'm actually quite good.
It was a nice mask. Great.
It was. It's gone now. There are other more important things.
There are more masks, I promise you.
I mean, I could just make my own. What do you think about this one? And I cast Minor Illusion Creator. And then I realized I'm just like, okay,
how's everyone else here?
As a note, since you all did level up to level 11, for people who do get new spells and things like that, you do need to get through a long rest for those to become a part of your repertoire. You immediately have the slots, but any new higher level spells that were not memorized, you do need a long rest, or whatever your casting ability may be, you do need that rest in order to sort of prepare the spell.
I do have a question. What's the moon phase like?
I know this one. It's actually all but the full moon. We're very, because if you recall, when you all first started out from Sojourns, it was the new moon. So it is very close right now to the full moon, if not exactly the full moon. I will check while you all are discussing things. I've got the timeline. I just need to bring it up.
Well, I mean, how do the rest of you feel? Do we make this a really, really busy day? Do we topple a religion and delve into the depths? Or
I think
a quick cat nap before we head down there?
I think a quick cat nap, and then we also, I don't know, maybe let's organize some of the people that are around here, to be honest.
I mean, if it's been down there for however long, it might very well wait. It's the rest of the timeline that's kind of a concern. Do we want to? We're gonna have a rest here, like overnight anyway. So
I can keep
and then
an
when we
eye on
leave,
it while you're all asleep during the night. I mean, I'm fine to do that if I rest up earlier. Taking a second watch or something. Just.
How about we get these people here sorted out?
Yeah.
We all have a good night's
Yeah.
sleep. And we figure out the mysterious, potentially very deadly and dangerous basement thing in the morning
Yeah.
before we trudge on.
So, just so you're asked, it's about 3 days to the full moon, and you are about exactly a week out from the actual convergence. And you know that the conclave basically has sort of started ramping up, but this next week is sort of the big week at the convergence.
Oof.
At the convergence conclave.
Oof. Mm. Mm.
I mean, we have a rest, and depends if we think we can be in any condition to keep going the day after, and then get things sorted here. Although it's really, we could get things sorted, or we could have other. We're not going to stay here and organize this. This is not our duty, as much as it would be nice to put it that way, to help and everything, but we don't have to. It's not something we can't afford to. It's just,
This is something we can do.
it's
Post.
it's not ours going forward.
No, you're right. And the last thing these people need are more glorified leaders to look up to. So
Don't need. Yeah, it's like maybe let them sort it out themselves. They ones who know what they need, I guess, or no, they don't actually. Yeah.
Well, let's, I don't know, think about getting some dinner. What's there to eat around here? I saw a camp last night. There was muttons, and I think someone was trying to boil potatoes, but
I mean, they eat here, so I imagine they have food in their kitchens, and in the place. You could always put together something for everyone, I guess, or something.
Yeah, you do know there's a big residential space here for the members of the temple.
Victor.
all right. Ground rules. First things first. First thing is first. Old chaplain's room, off bars to everyone. Cool. Agreed. Wonderful. Great. No touchy. No touchy. Looking at you, Luck. I'm looking at that book too. I see you.
What?
Don't look at that book.
What book? Oh, that book?
That book. Or the other book.
Oh, yes, I'm pretty sure
Yes.
the reason they were given to me is because I won't look at those books.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it.
So you
Anyway.
want me to, go lock it.
Look up the room. Why not? I mean, someone's going to use it at some point, right? If they're going to continue using this space, they might use it at some point. Just put some, write some warnings on there. Be careful; there might still be traps.
You might die in this room. Have fun. No, let's not encourage that. So, I don't believe. Is Tara still with us? Because I didn't actually get to introduce myself to her last session.
I mean, you do. You have the choir there. They've all sort of left the space underneath of underneath Laurel's care, the paladin who he sort of, as his penance, seems to have taken them very much under this wing. Luna has gone with them, with Lily, and with her cleric and healing magics, is able to see what just she can do. Some of this damage that has been done is beyond her, being a fairly new cleric, even though the rest, her monk skills, of course, are extraordinary.
Yeah, let's leave them to... Luna's got this. Yeah?
Yes.
So let's go have a bite.
So, very easily, certainly you do have some people who were members of the church who have converted, so to speak, or are more than eager to please and show you the way to sort of their mess hall and dining room, which you are able to quickly luck. It is well stocked. Again, the Dulcimer Riverlands are a very fertile place of both game and fish and vegetable and all that sort of stuff. And as meager as most people's camps were out front who had come here sort of on their pilgrimage, their larders of the actual cathedral are well stocked. The kitchen is well maintained, and while you couldn't feed all these people in this manner for a long time, if you were to make a feast for everyone, probably the likes of which many have not seen in quite some time, you would be able to do so.
Yeah, he's gonna sort of look round and go, Axel, Vidar, help me out here.
Yep. Yeah, sure.
Fetch me those ingredients. Vidar, get some stuff, pots and things ready.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Iska, go round up some people, other people. More makes it easier. And Celia, you do you.
For those of you who's ever been a member of a church, or even especially a big southern church, the ladies of the church descend upon Luck. This big, handsome man who seemed to be very comfortable in the kitchen, and he becomes their new favorite as they are cooking with him and just nattering and chatting, and about 4 want him to meet their daughter. It's a big southern church kitchen cooking time going on in there.
Stacked pots just come back, one fall off and is like, trips over it, falls, hilarious.
While they are cooking, Celia is going to go clean up her mess and grab all of the acolytes that she killed. And
yeah.
Oops.
Yeah,
Maybe a good idea.
all
Yeah.
12 of my lair
Maybe a
action
good idea.
acolytes that are laying dead in the upper, they would start to smell, for sure.
yeah, she's gonna go clean up her mess and
I should have kept the dark music up for just a little bit longer. It's like I switched to like happy kitchen music, and it's
Still too soon.
Celia with a dozen
Celia.
dead bodies.
Celia is doing what she does, and she's
On
gonna
brand.
take. Yeah.
There is such a
she's
great
gonna
like
take
shot
them all
of Celia reaching like a dagger back to like start cutting body pieces, and then just the camera cuts to Luck chopping an onion or something.
She's gonna take them all and take them to like a place that it's not grass but it's stones, place where nobody is going to be around at the time that they're all doing that.
Mhm. Yeah,
And-
good distraction happening.
Yeah, and she holds her hand out and firebolt.
Okay. It takes a while to firebolt a body away, but you can, or certainly you can, around here, a lot of the wood is wet, but you can find enough dry. You could make a fairly good pyre There's that sort of one or two people. I wonder what's burning over there. Yeah, there's. I would say probably Laurel is as the paladin. He comes down and he assists, understanding that there was some bloody work to be done, and helps you out. So, you guys are able to get this cooking. The wonderful smells of luck cooking, like the likes of which you haven't experienced, probably since all the way back at Vernon Falls, in fact, fill the air using all the different spices that you were able to find that you've brought with you as you've been keeping up your spice collection, even from over in East and in Falcon's Crest. So it's a incredible feast, in fact. You sort of get a line coming through, people bringing in their plates and stuff. You can just more cementing this community together. And then the fact that it's not just the party, that it's sort of these women of the community who have also brought fellowship and food together and getting everyone in. Instead of being in the sort of not wonderful area out in front of the church, this courtyard in the center of the rectory is beautiful, planted with trees. There's nice places for people to sit. It is just quite a difference between what was before and what was after. Iska and you're able to see there still are folks who are in need of some medical care, which you are able to, as you've rested since you did this last, circulate around. Most of it is minor minor cure wounds type things that need to happen. One of the things that you do hear, though, from members of the church or from places of their other churches, there is a wonder at even your minor healing magic. With Luna out there as well, there are many people who are from other churches, who are other spiritual leaders, who comment, as you had sort of heard before, the fact that you are casting healing magic, that especially Luna having divine healing magic is very foreign to them. In fact, even people ask about, you don't have to use scrolls, you're not, as much of the divine magic you'd heard from Stroth and while he was a scroll vendor of holy scrolls, that there was the fact that people are not accustomed to divine magic working without the use of scrolls and long ritualistic pieces.
Is that like news to me? Is that...
It might be news to you, it wouldn't be news to Luna. So I just mention it. She had heard this from Stroth. I can't recall if you were with him. When she first became a cleric, she was finding out that high-level cleric magic was relegated to scrolls that usually would take entire days or weeks sometimes to prepare. And now it seems that even low-level divine magic is having a problem.
Okay. I mean, that's good to note then, because that means that things are shifting in a weird way. I don't know if that's Arcana Mystica or if that's some other weirdness happening, but that's definitely like out of the ordinary for me, that like low level stuff like this has become rare or is even commented upon.
I mean, a little bit, you're finding healing for your mother was difficult and expensive. I mean, you went into indentured servitude for 6 months.
Sure.
Just to get a healing spell.
Okay. Then that'll at least plant some seeds about figuring out what comes next if we actually do kind of liberate, or what happens with the Mystica after all this. and kind of redistributing knowledge of these things, or figuring out exactly why something that's so beneficial is closed off like that.
Yeah.
So that's another little nugget I want to keep up here.
So y'all look out across the courtyard. You see Grain romping through the crowd. Far too many children that are paying way too much attention. Even the cat is out and seems to be stalking around and making rounds and choosing who deserves their presence. Riley is, of course, just enamored with all of this, him still disguised as your Tabaxi's son. It's a good night. It's a good evening, and actually drifts into the evening, and twilight overcomes the courtyard, and people start to set up their tents and such again. It's a nice night. Unless there's anything else for the brevity, we can sort of bounce forward to the following morning. Unless there's anything special folks want to do in the night or before their long rest.
Let's screw around with some spells.
Okay.
Describing
Vidal's just
studying.
going to... Oops, sorry. Vidal will just have Lyle out and just be doing a little bit of training and swordplay and just flourishing, working on just letting Lyle soak up the moon.
Okay. So, morning comes around. Dawn breaks. And you see many people getting themselves ready to travel. They have a day of travel ahead of them. This seemed to be a weekender trip for a lot of them to come down to the Call to Faith. So many of them are packing up and going on their way. You've helped lots of people. And there seems to be some type of an organization going on to come back and to potentially return. Laurel talks to them about how he will be here and that they will maintain the place with the folks left behind, depending on what all happens. And folks are... The new day dawns, and it does seem as though there is a new day dawning for a lot of this, as the Temple of Purity, even the message of the Temple of Purity is being taken with these people, what has happened here. And as it does faster than wildfire among the populace, word is begun, your sure word will quickly spread. The bards who are here, people telling stories in taverns. It's a big change. Iska, you have someone you had spoken with the night before run up to you. It was one of a clergy member from a small chapel. He looks at you and goes, I don't understand it, but I woke up this morning and I can feel my connection better. He looks around, he looks at Luck, specifically. Having seen Luck with giant angel wings the day before. Are you all truly a miracle?
We're just people. People like you. People like them. Any one of you could have done what we've done. You gotta start believing that.
I'll try. And he just sort of has no more words and doesn't look like he quite believes it, but isn't going to argue with you, and sort of heads off, and you can just sort of see him almost sort of his holy symbol around his chain seems to just, he's getting comfort from it, like you can tell that he hadn't had before.
Good. That's great. I mean, I'm hoping that triggers some divine magic to return to him. So that's awesome.
As he walks away, you see the cat has plopped itself down beside you and sort of does the figure 8 around your legs before Grain comes up and chases it off. So what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to? Are we tackling down below?
Freshly level 11. Let's go. So basement times.
Still got the bare minimum rest.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of bags under his eyes because he's just been. He's like, oh, I've had ideas. That's like he's been doing basically until he had to sleep.
But now just comes in a bit more of a sparkle, like starlights really hit him over the night, and he's just, I feel fantastic. I am just flourishes Lyle around him.
Axel, you slept, right? We remember the whole thing was about getting some...
I slept.
Okay.
I slept. I was just there was a couple of things I had to do before I slept. So I had
a couple.
Yeah.
1, 2, 12.
Yeah, couple.
20.
Yeah, not everything I got done that I had to do, but I did come across some cool ideas. Let's hope nothing blows up.
Cool idea.
We're happy for
Unless
something
we
to blow
want
up.
it to blow up. That's kind of the intention, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so to the tower.
The tower. We ready to go to the tower? All right, gear up. Let's do it. He clicks his fingers and summons his breastplate. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys sort of head out of the rectory around to the left. No need for stealth at this point, so you can pretty much walk just right around on the outside around here and enter in to the old tower. You see it sort of looming there before you. Yes.
At this point, Celia would have given Iska her cloak.
Oh, that's right.
What's that do again? What is it? What kind of cloak is that
Advantage
again?
on stealth.
Yep, advantage on stealth, and people have disadvantage to see you.
Whew. All right.
So, as you all enter through this break in the wall of this old crumbling tower that is sort of leaning at a precarious angle over at about 10 degrees, sort of propped up against the south side of the church, there is that quiet that sort of comes over a stone spaces like this. It is flooded in the bottom. You've sort of been in about knee deep of water to go out and get around into this place. A small skiff you could, would be able to navigate in here. It's that deep, but also you're able to walk. If I can get perception checks from the whole party as you walk in this place, it is about 60 feet across diameter.
That 19 is actually a 20. Thumbs up.
All right. Reliable talent. Rogues.
Reliable talent.
Welcome to
Yay!
my nightmare with rogues for my campaign.
Oh, yeah. So, Iska, Celia, and Axel. Axel, because you've been here now twice into this place, having heard about someone down here, you quickly sort of navigate around trying to think of where you wouldn't have seen, and as you start walking over by the underside of the stairs, Iska, just because for story's sake, you actually do find it quicker than Axel does because you sort of step off the edge. There is, in fact, another set of stairs going down underneath the water, underneath the other stairs. So it'd be almost like you had stepped. There's no like guardrail or anything. You sort of stepped into the area and end up at about your waist, seeing that this is basically as the stairs spiral down one wall, that another staircase sort of starts underneath the stairs that then would go down underneath as well to go beneath the water. So yeah, this is to go any further is going to involve swimming and underwater navigation.
I have an item for this.
In the dark. Wonderful.
In the dark.
I'm
I
really
think-
glad that I can see in the dark. How about y'all? Do you want a drift globe? I pull out a drift globe.
Don't where is it? I've got a cup of water breathing.
Just to remind all of you of swimming and holding your breath rules.
Oh yes.
So, the amount of time you can hold your breath if you have prepared to hold your breath, like, I'm going to dive to the bottom of the swimming pool, is your Constitution modifier number of minutes. If you did not prepare, it is not in minutes, it's in rounds. So if basically if you are drowning, if you are somehow interfered with or aren't prepared to hold your breath, you are talking in rounds of your Constitution modifier if you are in combat, that you're able to hold your breath and all of those things.
Okay, quick survey. Who can't? Iska? Okay.
Would Iska like the cup of water breathing?
I was going to say, would you like to go in the ring?
Ooh. More than anything.
Okay. Wonderful. If you want, just,
My con score is 1, y'all, so...
All right, but we're going to have to make a deal. You got to dry me off afterwards. Prestidigitate me. Good, cool. Would you like to go in now or in 5 seconds?
As a note, just for ease, that's a question. I will actually leave it up to you. Would you like Luna to be with you, or that she stayed behind with the Genasi?
Let's make the water temple actually difficult and keep the water genasi away.
Yeah.
And Rylai too. He'll be with Luna and the Genasi because.
So it's a cat, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, gotcha. So Cat, Riley, and Luna, we can say easily that some members of the choir sort of went into crisis over the night.
I'm super into this, and I'm glad we're doing it this way, but it's still very funny that we're like, yeah, the water temple. Luna, you said this one out.
We
okay?
got this.
We got this.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be
you
fair
don't
to
breathe,
everyone.
You'll be
Don't
fine.
worry, I've got this. Remember swimming lessons? I'm fine.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
swimming lessons.
Ring me, Vidar.
Okay. And it's just a little pat on the head.
Mm.
Starlight unfolds. Then I'm going to cast on myself Starlight Armor, which is just Armor of Agathis, but instead of Frost, it's Starlight. And that's going to last for an hour. So I got 125 hit points, y'all.
Okay.
Moonlight shimmers in like a nice silver, the same kind of same kind of pigment as Lyle, and has just nice curvature shapes. She's like, well, this is nice. I feel safe.
Peak anime.
Peek.
Peak and
Hello, welcome to Dragons and Cats.
I was going to say, I'm
Peak anime.
shocked. I'm so shocked. Let me put on my
Surprise,
shocked face
Phil.
of how shocked I am that we're peak anime.
Right,
So-
well, none of you can see in the dark as well as I can, so I'll go first. Drift Globe. Luck, here you go.
Okay.
for some light.
So,
Yeah.
just to confirm, we've got Iska in the ring. So Vidar, Luck, Cilia, and Axel are going to make the swim or go underneath. Are going to dive below the water to see what they see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can see.
Okay. So, for those of you who are swimming, first thing we need, I assume you take deep breaths.
I just use the cap of water breathing.
Luck puts the cap of water breathing on because cap of water breathing. And any other special preparations the rest of y'all are making?
I don't think I can actually do anything from the sounds of things, so. We have a scroll of water walking, but I don't think it's helpful here.
Other than the fact that it would, try to throw you above surface, which, in cave
Could be
diving,
useful.
that might or might not be a good idea. Just you get pinned to the top. What is your marching order, if I may?
Ooh, I do have a potion of haste that I could use to, if I want to dive down and rush
No.
through it. Okay, wonderful.
Because you are paralyzed for a good 6 seconds afterwards.
That's a good point. It's only one round. But I'm underwater, yeah.
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 Anyway, no, nothing other than that. No.
So, you guys dive down and follow this spiral staircase as it goes down, swimming down through it. It is dark, murky water, the drift globe giving you some visibility. As you get to the bottom, you find yourself sort of in a small, round room where this is landed here at the bottom. Sort of spirals down, then has a straight section that leads you to what would be sort of the center of the tower in a round room that's only about 15 feet across at the center. Straight in front of you, you see sort of an opening. Getting down this deep probably takes you 15-20 seconds. As you sort of tread water, you can see an opening in the wall that would lead sort of out into the main part of the tower. This would be almost like a center shaft of the tower almost that you just pass through. I assume you're moving with haste since you're holding your breath. Speaking of which, what is everyone's constitution modifier? 2, 3. We don't worry about luck, and 3. So Axel, that's what I need to know is Axel is at 2 minutes. You swim through and you can sort of see the outside of the tower. It's basically as though it's like a donut. You've come in through the donut hole. You now would need to traverse around the outside. Do you all want to go left or right? Actually, let's just make this a little bit easier.
Oh, do we have a map?
A map?
Oh, prepare to drown.
I love maps.
And this is beautiful because we can still communicate through telepathic link. Oh, yeah, a map.
It's the map. It's the map.
So we've ended up in the center chamber here?
You are in the center chamber. You are in that center chamber. You should be able to see your tokens.
Yeah.
I can see my
So
tokens.
this area, and we can see out
You
here.
can see out there. And the rest should be, other than like where your character things are, should basically be black.
Yeah.
If I did all my masking stuff. Other than you can see your characters, yeah. Your like tokens.
Yeah, we can see this area
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's a square, yeah.
Yeah.
You
So-
see a square of revealed, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Keep going.
yep, you should be able to move your tokens. We won't go into like initiative or anything, but so you want to go left or right to go around?
No.
Um,
Oh, Vidar's leading.
Yep, Vidar,
Alright.
you're in the lead.
All
you
right,
sort of
so
go out
going
into the hallway here. We'll sort of put you. You're kind of right there.
Yeah. I think he'll summon. I'll summon Lyle as a spear if I can, and I'll go left. How murky is the water, by the way?
It's fairly clear, but as you swim, you can see you're knocking up sediment. If you're not careful, the more you touch walls, floor, whatever, quickly this will get stirred up, but there doesn't seem there's been a lot of movement at this point, so it does seem fairly clear. So on the map, you're going up or down?
I'm going to go down, and I'm going to be a little bit cautious. I'm going to swim down here and head to this wall.
Okay, swimming cautious means that you are slowing down your time, so it will take you, will be coming up on a minute for you to get all the way around going with caution.
No, we're not going caution. Fuck it.
I miss you
Sorry,
guys so
Sweta.
much.
I assume the rest of you all, are following close behind.
Vidar's going to get to that wall, and then once he gets to the wall, he's going to kick off to try propel himself further
Yep,
through
you can
water.
shoot yourself across, be almost like a double dash. So only in seconds you find yourself at the far wall where you do see sort of an opening. It is seems as though like it's dislodged as this whole tower has basically shifted a story down. You can sort of see where it's broken. This doorway is broken off from where it used to lead, but you can definitely see. And as you go there, I need a perception check. As you look through, you do have your devil sight, so you are able...
120 feet.
Yep. So for dark vision, looking through there, there is a cavern beyond you. And lying, sort of hovering a little bit, you see a monstrous, what looks like a crocodile, but it looks as though it's diseased. It is somewhat, almost looks like it's rotten. It is sitting there. It seems to be, its eyes are closed, perhaps sleeping or snoozing, but you can see beyond that there are two further areas beyond it, but between you and beyond there is this giant beast, almost 20 feet long, huge teeth and maw. It is pretty darn nasty looking. It looks something like that.
Mentally. So we got a big old beastie lizard up in front of us. Looks asleep. Looks grot.
Yep.
And we could try to slowly swim around it, but Axel, if anything bad happens and you lose your breath, or if anyone does, straight away come to the ring.
So we're trying to sneak past.
Do we want to sneak past it?
I don't think it's a good idea. We don't want it behind us if something goes wrong, but we do also need a safety. Can we see any air pockets like there, or is it just...
Is there any air pockets in
Do me a perception check, Templar.
Vidar can't see. One sec.
This feels awfully familiar to a delve into a pool that we recall. 15.
On a 15, and because you are definitely very aware of it, you can see back over in this corner here. Oh, that's drawing tool. I don't want that. I want the ping. Give me a ping. There it is. Back over there. You can see there is the shimmer of the surface of water. Back over on that side.
You'll let everyone know about that. There's at least, something there. I don't know if it's a proper air pocket, if it's a way out, maybe. But there's that. Do we just want to sort of bait it back up the stairs to where it's land and ground? Could it actually fit up there?
Do me an intelligence check.
Would it try to follow us up there? Particularly if it's actually undead.
Oddly enough, it does not seem as though it would be able to fit through the opening that you're in.
And it's just lying there on the ground. It's not.
It's sort of hovering.
Can he see any? Can he see any movement in the chest as if it was breathing?
On that intelligence and your perception,
wouldn't
it does
breathe, would
not
it?
seem as though it is breathing.
No, that wouldn't be breathing anyway if it was underwater. And you have the impression it's undead. Actually, look.
Yeah, Luck, you can sense that if you want to.
What sense?
Divine sense. Fudunk.
I mean, actually, if it was undead, it wouldn't be sleeping though.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yep.
I'm trying. What all does it? Your divine
Divine
sense.
sense. Do. Where is it? Here it is. Boom.
Celestial fiend or undead?
Yep, it is not celestial fiend or an undead.
All right.
None of the above.
Is this just a lizard?
Could be just a very big lizard.
Probably a very big lizard. I got him somehow. Big crocodile thingy. Couple of seconds have passed.
Right, this is taking too long. I'm going to stab it.
Yeah. You realize who you have with you, right?
Yes.
Cilia.
Assassin. But is he moving forward? Do we have to grab him and make quick movements?
I was gonna say, I think Celia's thoughts are pretty fast in this situation because
Compared to-
she knows Vidar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming
Speed of
you're gonna
thought.
you're gonna do a stealthy stealth and try to pull an assassination.
Yeah. Stealth.
Okay, go
Can
ahead
I-
and position
That is
yourself.
not a natural one. That is a 23.
Yeah, I know, because talent.
By the way, if anyone wants a 16 on a roll, let me know.
So Celia, within the shadows, go ahead and position yourself where you want to be, and roll me that. Tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and get initiative going, just so that we've got it in there.
Naturally.
That's you were first, but you were last.
Where's your talent now, Celia?
It actually counts as a skill check. Initiative does.
Yeah, but you're not proficient in it.
You can't be
That's
proficient in
true.
initiative,
Yep.
unfortunately.
True. Be proficient.
Unless you have alert.
Yeah, alert. I would
I
count.
don't have
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got one more person. There we go. Luck.
That was gonna be my next ASI. Alert is.
But Celia has a surprise round, so let's do your attack.
All right. Is that my assassinate? Yes.
They
it
haven't gone. You
is.
have advantage. What are you using?
And what do you think I'm using? I'm using my nice, pretty dagger.
Your new dagger.
You did, Jay. You did this.
I know I did this.
You did this.
I know I did this.
And I have it's a surprise round, so it's an auto crit.
Yep.
Just
It's fun.
Yep. So hit this crocodile.
you put.
And I know you've got that quick little math thing for me to help me out. Tell me, 68 damage, okay?
And then. Oh!
With 6 points,
Come on!
6 points of exhaustion.
6 points of exhaustion. Save that. Oh god. Does it save?
I need to roll that con save.
You were so ready to just say, "Oh, it's dead."
Oh, a 17.
Safe.
It saves.
I made things worse for us. I'm happy.
Bad.
Everything's been made worse now.
And let's get its initiative in there. And
This is great.
And then as my bonus action, I am going to mark it.
yep, you can do that. Wrong music. Figured we have a. It's very Beetlejuicy, but I kind of like it because this is going to get silly.
Spooky.
Vidar, you are up.
Alright, so everything is vocal. Dang it. Doesn't matter. Who cares? So with a new and improved Lance Lyle coming down with me, I'm going to begin to swim on an opposite angle, going underneath and kick off to try and get around here and stab it with the reach.
Okay. As you go swinging by, it's going to try to make an attack of opportunities. It can have opportunity on both entering and leaving its space. It swings its head around and tries to take a snap at you. 24, I assume, is going to hit.
24 is going to hit.
So that would be 14 piercing, and you are grappled in its mouth, so you aren't able to get past.
Are we doing saves to hold your breath when you take damage?
Not yet.
Okay. That's fair. I just wanted to check.
Yep. No, not
Okay.
yet.
So it's also going to take 25 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the
From biting
ice, is, the water is just sort of crystallizing around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Like
yeah,
that.
you watch as it sort of crystallizes around you. And what is it,
It's gotta be
25?
real cold to swim through.
Yeah, don't follow my path. Same Frosty.
So
Right.
as it bites into you, you see its whole head basically begin to embed itself and crystallize in ice. And as it does so, you watch its head completely shatter and turn to ice and fall off.
I let out bubbles when that happens.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
doesn't
as he
those
bites
death
on it.
thrashes?
And basically you see, but the rest of the body still seems to somehow be uninfected. In fact, as you see the head sort of shatter, you see the rest of the body is, there's not the insides you were expecting on the inside of this.
Bloop,
It-
Bloop.
bloop.
bloop, bloop. But yeah, its head is gone.
So I'm out of its grapple?
You are out of its grasp.
Is it a construct?
I'm gonna look at it and be like, what is
Or is it
this?
infected with something weird?
Stab! Stab! That's all the wrong stuff because it should be charisma. Okay. Stab.
On
17
a
hits.
17 it hits. It's easy to hit.
Wonderful. I'm gonna stab it again.
Yep. So wow, for 17 and 7, so that's plus an extra 24 points of damage if I'm doing that right.
Yes. And just telepathically, just to Axel and Luck, just because in the area, just this thing isn't a crocodile. I don't know what this is.
I can see that. What it?
What do I have for bonus action? That's all I have. Yep, that's going to be my turn. 'Cause everything else requires using my voice.
Okay. Next up is Luck.
Alright, do. get to here because underwater combat is so much fun when you have to half movement everything. Sugar-doo-doo. Oh wait, no, my pick is piercing damage. That's perfect. 23.
23 hits.
14. And 18.
18 hits as well. Actually, 1 second.
Oh.
Yes, 18 hits as well.
Alrighty.
So that's for 31 points of damage.
Yep.
As you get on front of it, you just start carving into it. And it's like just coming apart in pieces. It is very strange.
How is this?
Oh no.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Not right now, no.
As it becomes its turn, you see with what's left of it, an arm and the rest of it begin to open up at the seams and grow mouths at the joints.
Oh.
No head, it just becomes this big toothy maw on the front of it. As it seems like more and more just mouths begin to appear on this creature. And it is, with its now just big, headless maw, is going to try to take a bite at Luck. On a 13, I think it's going to miss,
Nope.
yeah. And then it is going to try to take a lesser bite with its elbows, one against Vidar and one against Cilia, on a 26. For a 40 points of damage.
It's going to
just 22. Only if it has 2 bites on you does it get that. Yeah,
Okay.
so 22 piercing.
He's going to also take 25 points of cold damage again.
Okay.
How many temporary hit points do you have?
25. But so long as I have those temporary hit points, it's still going to take 25
Yep.
cold damage each time.
Yeah.
it hits.
Yep.
So yeah. So,
So they're gone now.
Yeah. And
That armor just shatters.
And then the other lesser bite is going to go against Cilia. 22 hits.
Roll
Yep.
uncanny.
Yep. For 17 piercing.
To 8.
Yep. And last but not least, it's going to swing around with its tail on Cilia, who hit it the hardest. 22. So for 21 points of bludgeoning and piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as it tries to knock the breath out of you.
Alright, I will use my advantage because I have it and I don't feel like dying right now. I think. Oh, I didn't need it. Cool.
Yep, on a 22, it sort of slams into you, but you just sort of go with it and let it push you instead of necessarily being able to make so much contact with you. And that is its turn. Next up is Axel.
all right. He will. Do a bunch of hand sights, and in the process, it'll sort of give himself a little scratch. It's not much to draw blood, but it's enough to be representative as his hands glow, sort of just a whitish light. As he casts Mind Spike and augments it, so that as he throws out a hand, there is you feel and you see something move through the water. As he fires a mind bullet, literally.
Okay.
So it's Mind Spike, but he's augmented it with Spell Slot. So a Wisdom save from croc, please.
Wisdom save from the croc.
The
Yep.
The croc.
That's a real croca.
Yeah. So it takes
So, yeah.
19 points of damage.
19 points of psychic and 19 force.
Interestingly enough, the force damage does not seem to affect it. The augment
Interesting.
does not seem to affect it. But the croc, between being frozen again, all sorts of, the croc disintegrates, just becomes sort of all but begins to just become translucent jelly as it gets hit by this mind spike.
That was never a crocodile, I don't think.
What would you like to do?
It's dead?
The crocodile has turned into just gelatinous goo in front of you. It's just
it wasn't a
like
crocodile.
dissolving and becoming all but and losing some of its color.
It was something pretending to be a crocodile of sorts, I imagine. Shall we just keep going, or at least because I need something to breathe.
Yeah, let's try to get to that air pocket.
Okay, are you gonna? So
Is it an air pocket?
you gonna say where you?
Stab it.
You gonna stay where you are, or are you using your movement, Axel?
He will move to there, I think, but still cautious because it's like it's goop. It might just re-goop itself into something that's actually still a threat.
Okay,
So
Celia, you are up.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I mean, am I able to, like, sense my mark still on it?
No, not really. It's weird. It's odd. It's an odd feeling. You haven't used this a lot before, but it's compared to when you killed off and cut off fingers and stuff, this feels different.
Yeah.
You've mainly done this on humanoids, and this does not seem to be. It was not a creature of flesh and bone, apparently. Your mark might have been ineffective on it. You can feel the mark. I mean, it was weird. Things are weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Since I can still kind of feel it there, I'm gonna stab the goop.
Okay. You stab the goop. You use your action stabbing goop. It's goop.
Yeah, it's goop. Okay.
You are underwater. It's goop. It's as you stab it, you notice it is losing its color, and you are starting to like lose track of kind of what was crocodile, what's goop, and what's water as sediment starts to churn up a little bit from this fight.
The cause for great concern. Because it's goop in water. Run. I say.
Oh, no. Make a executive retreat.
What would you like to do?
Celia looks at the party and then looks to Axel. She says, Axel, or she thinks Axel go to the air pocket.
Alright.
Okay. Vidar, you are up next.
Yeah, we're getting out of here, friends. Axel get towards me. Jay, clarification. If I cast a spell that uses vocal components, that will use my breath, and I'll start going 2 rounds.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Right. So I'm just going to begin to swim away.
Okay. Where are you positioning yourself?
Gonna get to here. What can I see around the corner? Since it's a little less murky around here.
As you go swimming.
Oh, that's a giant.
Hey, $90. 1 potion, 1 luck die for everybody from our good friend New Titans. So you doing your push off thing and sort of launching yourself?
Push off or acceleration, yeah.
As you push off and go shooting forward, you feel a little bit of resistance, and it's like boom, and you come to a stop, and everything around you is thick and gelatinous.
Oh no!
I need you
Slime.
to make a Constitution saving throw.
We weren't fighting the crocodile.
A terrible mistake has been made.
Fighting something inside a crocodile.
Gelatinous cube. Yes.
Gelatinous cubes are transparent. Gelatinous cube underwater. Very difficult to see. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. As this elder gelatinous cube that has been hanging out down here.
Oh.
Why did we leave the monk at home?
As you take 29 points of acid damage as it begins to dissolve you.
Can I see an air pocket though up top, like a shimmer of?
You do see the shimmer, yeah, but you are currently engulfed in a gelatinous cube.
Right. Though I haven't taken my action yet, I've just been swimming away. I'd like to cast Dimension Door and shoot on up there and get a breath and try get away from this.
Yeah, there's you can do Dimension Door and poofed. You find yourself up with your head above water in a darkened cavern.
I'm gonna pop Isker out real quick. We're in something.
I think she's technically aware of things that are around, right, Kurt?
So you find yourself, Iska, now in a basically treading water.
This wasn't part of the deal.
Dump
New
her
deal.
water because she could swim fine, right?
Oh no. Okay, we got to play this though. Did you give her any heads up, or did you just pop her out?
I think I'd look. Well, I'm above water, so you just be.
Oh, okay.
You just be
Yeah, y'all are
wet.
looking at each other. You are treading water in a dark, cavernous space.
Hey, Iska. Sorry, things haven't gone according to plan.
Yeah.
There is. So yeah, we thought it was a crocodile, not a crocodile. I think it's something else swarming. Everyone run. I go back down. I'm full breath intending to cast a spell.
Okay.
Just so I can have sight.
So yeah, Iska, you basically where that line is, is where the sort of where the water dips below, back into the cavern below.
Actually, question Jay. Like, serious? Can I do anything underneath the water? Between the gun, spells, are all
The
bardic
gun will work
magic.
under the water. Just your range is cut in half.
Okay. That's kind of it then, right? Because everything else is music or vocal based. So.
Music and vocal based gets very difficult underwater. Yes. Music. No, your instrument music actually carries further. You double the range because of physics.
Oh, cool. Right
So
on.
yeah, I mean, singing is tough, but pure music, which a lot of your things are pure music, are fair game. And actually, they have double range, double the range on them. And go ahead and roll me initiative.
Welcome to the party.
Nice.
You'll go straight away.
So yeah, Iska, you are immediately up. What would you like to do?
Okay. Sleeve's doing okay. Vidar, Vidar, you're at like what, half health right now?
I've taken a bit of a hit.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let us
I'm at about 60%.
tell you what. I'm just gonna hit you with a cure wounds at what do you think, like 3rd level? Is that
Second.
okay? Second? Okay, 2nd level. Wow.
Doesn't matter.
I'm a little riled up.
A
So
little riled up.
quick
I know
that.
I wet everything.
Okay, this sucks. See you down there. And then we'll hold my breath and just make my way a little bit in here. Not much, because... What's up, Jay? You
I
look
need
like
you to make a
something
dexterity saving throw.
No.
Because we don't know what it is that Vidar actually ran into. We just
On
see
a
him
23.
teleport.
You start to swim forward, and as you're not a strong swimmer, you immediately feel the thickness, but your arm does reach completely into this basically big bucket of gelatinous acid, and you take half of 38, which is 15, plus 4, you take 19 points of acid damage as you reel back and push backwards.
Okay, so am I back out from where?
Yeah,
like,
you're
where
back.
I
You
was?
didn't get engulfed, but you like now feel sort of the wall of where it was. I will put you. Basically, when you jumped right there, you tried to move north from there and hit basically a wall of underwater gelatinous. Look,
Great. Great.
so yeah,
Okay.
you've done action and move. Yeah,
Cool.
the
Good turn.
this thing that you bumped into is nearly invisible, as it is a translucent thing in under the water, and it's just barely a rippling shimmer in front of you. Luck, you are up next. You saw your buddy Dimension Door, like all of a sudden you go, and then and the Dimension Door out.
So what's the plan?
Run. Try get through it or slash. I don't know.
Really useful.
Wonderful.
Axel
What?
Fireball.
What is it? Underwater. What is it?
I don't know. It's barrier of sludge, slime, or something beyond.
Good.
I've never fought against something like this. Why is there stuff like this underwater? I've never
Say,
actually.
Y'all can't have a D&D campaign without having fought a gelatinous cube. I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
Or a water.
So, so we got stuck here, and we're
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Just swim back.
Just swim back, yeah.
Just leave them to deal with it.
No
Good
problem
idea.
now. Well, let's take a few more swings at this crocodile thing.
Oh, the crocodile's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
You basically,
it's
it's all
disappeared.
just turned into sludge. You
Yeah.
see nothing in front of you. Actually, you can do me a perception check
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
at
do
disadvantage.
Now that we know it's there and there has been stuff kicked up, we might be able to actually pick out
On a
edges of
20,
it.
you can barely tell. I mean, it's like in those weird like scuba movies where there's like a subversion layer in the ocean where it goes from. It is just this weird. It's almost like looking at the surface of the water, but it is vertical in front of you, but you just barely visible.
Let's just. I'm gonna go the opposite direction that Vidar went. Sure, why not?
Skloop.
It's going.
Do me a dexterity
Fine.
saving throw as you try to move forward. See whether or not
classic.
it gets you.
Oh, you got me.
On a 5, it engulfs you.
It's 16.
Oh, our 16 plus 3 is
I'm gonna burn a 16
is
this
a
early.
19, so yeah, it's half damage on that 30. You only take 15 points of
Don't get
damage
stuck in things.
and are not engulfed. You basically bump into the wall right there.
So it's just
It's everywhere.
probably.
Well, you know what? This may not be the greatest of ideas.
Hey, this party's all about not great ideas
Yeah.
that are the best
So-
ideas ever.
So, bonus action. Let's activate Lightning Crimson.
Ooh, okay.
Underwater.
And we're gonna swing at the thing in front of us.
Swing away. It is at disadvantage because
Yep.
it's weird,
Can't see it.
Yep.
but it's also a giant wall.
Oh, I know what I can do.
To anyone in
Both
that,
of those
bad
hit. Both of those hit, no problem.
23 and do. Extra 6 lightning.
Okay. The piercing damage as it goes through it, I mean, you sort of gloop in and then just come right back out. It does not seem to have a whole lot or as much effect as you would have thought that it should. But it does do something. And then, however, the lightning just takes off through this thing. And in fact, you see the whole thing go being electrified. In front of you, Iska, all the way back here, you see just a wall of electricity in front of you as it seems to be very vulnerable to this lightning attack. It is definitely a conductive gel that is in there.
Good to know. There's my turn.
Next up.
Yep. Is the crocodile still there? or
Next
is it-
up, it's going to take some attacks. It is going to the people who bumped into it. So one in for Axel on a natural 20.
Axel.
I'm sorry, Axel. I mean Luck. On Luck on a natural 20.
Double that 20.
So
Holy
that
cow.
will be
Oh,
yeah. That will be 21 points of damage. Did that do that right? That doesn't look like that got the
9 plus. That's 3d6. It doesn't add the. Does it have a damage modifier? It just says +0 for its damage modifier.
No, it should have added that. No, whatever. Just take it.
Alright.
I was gonna say because it just doesn't seem like it's adding in the crit, is what I'm not seeing.
Do 3d6.
Oh no, it's the 9 is one attack and the 12 is another.
Yeah.
It's the crit.
No, the
Yes.
12 is the additional acid damage it does. This actually does acid damage.
Oh, the 9
along
is
with-
bludgeoning and the 12 is acid. Okay.
Yeah, so it actually is double that. So it's, but it is normal. It's not magical bludgeoning. So
Alright.
it's 18 bludgeoning back down to 9, 24 acid
25. Okay, there we go.
on the double nat 20s. Look at that. The second one is going to be for our good friend Iska because she's right there, a 16. As you take, and then it didn't roll the. I don't know what's going on with this attack. Anyway, it is so you take 12 acid damage. Why did it not roll? Oh no! It did do it. I'm sorry.
So it did do that. So that's what?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so that's just add another 12 HP, so it done.
Yeah, there you go. So you take 12 points of acid damage from this pseudopod. It's like I drag and dropped in the gelatinous cube from the thing, and I don't like how it did it.
Yeah.
I don't like its autofills on stuff. Anyway, that is it for its turn. It's going to move.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to move.
If it's moving, is it easier to see?
It is going to move.
That's true.
I think it's going to move towards Luck, because Luck heard it with that lightning. So you see the wall just come forward and try to envelop you. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Let's burn an advantage on this. 17.
On a 17, oof. Just
Ooh.
made it with a 16 as its piece. You are able to push off the wall and get away from it just in time, and it is not able to engulf you, as it sort of, that wall just sort of squeezes out in front of you. Iska, you actually see the wall in front of you sort of recede away a little bit. Axel, you are up next.
Alright. Unfortunately, I can't transform psychic damage, which is annoying. I don't even know if it has a mind to hit a psychic. Dear.
Me trying to move this cube is a pain in the butt, so that's not going to happen. We're just going to remember where it is.
Screw it.
Well, to keep it so you all wouldn't see it, it's like it's on the other layer, and it's just a tiny little line.
So, screw it. He has a couple of rounds underwater, right? Before he suffocates.
Actually,
By the way, both
Yeah.
Axel and Luck are. Iska and Luck are grappled, because on hit you get the grapple. You then have to escape from it. So you are wrapped up in a tendril right now.
Oh no, I can't do. If that's the case, I can't do electricity.
Do it.
I can't actually get to safety because it's here now, right?
It is here, but it seems to go clear from wall to wall as well as you
Yep.
can see.
So I can't. Oh, I am in a terrible spot. I gotta think about what Axel would do in this situation.
While he's thinking, has Iska been dragged along with it since it's moved, or is it just gone glooped?
No, actually, I think it's extended
Alright, cool.
because it doesn't talk about dragging people with it unless you're in it. She is grappled. She is not engulfed.
Okay.
Can I determine if it's there? Can I Misty Step 30 feet past it? Presumably.
It's line of sight, right? And you do have sight through it. And
Yeah.
where are you going to land?
It's just anywhere on the other side of it.
Well, tell me where you're going to land.
Yep.
Where you're thinking you want to land.
There.
You can certainly try.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get line of sight to there. Yeah, so, he's gonna move to there. And then, actually, you can try and Misty Step. Stumble into Iska, or, yeah, there.
Okay. So, poof,
If I end up in it.
you Misty
I
Step,
can't.
and you appear on the other side. And
Is it an occupied space?
I'm sorry.
The spell says only in an occupied space, so maybe it just straight fail right fails.
But we do have three-dimensional. We can go.
Well,
we can be
it
up
is
or above.
it is an unoccupied space, but this can occupy something else's space.
Yep, no.
You find
Damn it.
yourself. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you are inside of
course.
the gelatinous cube. It doesn't seem to be quite cube-shaped.
Yeah, no, I figured. Oh, no.
It's like it depended very much on where you decided to land. So let me roll it up. You take 24 points of acid damage and are engulfed.
All right. Cool. Can I attempt to get out of it with my action?
Misty Step is Misty Step is bonus. Sure, actually, yeah, because it's that strength to get yourself out.
Oh yay!
Strength check to get yourself out.
Don't forget that luck die.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Strength check. 21.
On a natural 20.
Maybe he expected this.
You are able to dislodge yourself and find yourself on the far side. Like you were just barely, all but half in it. You're able to grab onto the wall and yank yourself out.
Yeah, I mean that's how he's been. He's not been swimming. He's just been grabbing and pulling himself along the walls.
Basically climbing in 3 dimensions.
Yeah. So, oh god.
Celia, you are up.
And also, I opened my mouth to cast Dimension Doors, Misty Steps. So,
yes,
he is.
But the air is literally right, there at that line.
Unless I get grabbed.
Iska, you are up.
Celia watched Luck do what he did. So she's gonna swim right here.
Okay.
Lightning dagger.
And pull her lightning dagger.
Yep. It is an attack at disadvantage.
It's still technically marked, yeah.
Well, because it is not. To me, the mark basically points out organs and things like that to stuff. The mark is for assassination of, we'll say, humanoid. This, like I say, was different because it's just a blob. There's not a artery, a vein, a kidney to get into. But you are, it is certainly has people behind it. So yes, it would flatten itself. It would flatten out from. You would have advantage. I'm sorry. You're trying to get sneak attack. You have disadvantage on the attack. If it hits, you have sneak attack.
Okay.
Is that right? Or you can't have disadvantage to have sneak attack. I'm sorry. Yes, just attack. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. So my main hand.
Yep.
19.
19 will hit.
I don't know if it can be exhausted, but that's the thing.
So, as you do 18 points of piercing damage, you see that is not as effective. And yeah, let's see. It's Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a 21.
Dang it.
Yep. It does not suffer the exhaustion, and it's
Enlightenment.
11 actually hits.
Oh my god.
Gelatinous cubes are big old cubes. You basically just go, it's like plugging it into a socket. And as you see the lightning, how do you want to do this? But yes. I will say, Iska and Luck, you also take 9 points of lightning damage as you are wrapped in pseudopods.
I'm real glad I didn't do what I wanted to do then.
You plug it into the socket and just.
So Celia is like, okay, we're gonna take a chance on this, and she stabs natural causes into the cube and seeing kind of the ripple that is caused by natural causes, she says, she kind of like thinks that's where it is, and she uses her offhand and stabs into the same exact spot as lightning just ripples.
Yeah, just this rippling out, almost from the surface of it. You see this sort of lightning effect just go out radially from it in 3 dimensions, rippling through the cube. You see that it filled up almost the whole northern chamber and all the way down to Iska and Axel in the southern part as it just... and you do see Iska and Luck jolt a little bit, but this thing just explodes, and now you just see these sort of small chunks of sort of little sparking gelatinous pieces in the water. And that is that.
I'm gonna motion for him to be like, this way, air. Also, I'm very glad I didn't do what I wanted to do. That might have killed you. I was gonna witch bolt, and that's 5d12.
That would have been really bad. Yeah, you guys can all make it to the area that Vidar is in.
That would have killed.
Iska basically doggy paddles her way out of this damn water. And if you ever like see a cat after it gets a bath that it hated, that's like her getting out of the water, just like leering, just angry. Just,
it's fine. Axel just is like sobbing. Like, it's fine.
As you pop your head up, Iska, and we have a stare down, I go a little bit below. You see some bubbles. I cast prestidigitation and dry off your hair. So I take the water out of your hair.
All I can imagine is what a wet sloth looks like with Iska right now.
No, I am imagining Nala whenever Simba pulls her into the water.
Yeah.
I'm imagining.
so her hair dries out, and she's like, "Okay, your turn." And grabs her bow. She's gonna use a cantrip. She's gonna cast Starlight or Starburst. That's basically just a D8 of damage that explodes in radiant light.
So yeah, there you go.
Oh, glittered.
Yes, you get glitter bombed. It's like the old days.
Deal's a deal.
Oh, I missed that. Thank you. Ow. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. Go me.
So just
should we tread here for like 5 minutes or so? Just catch our breath.
Yes.
Where is there to go?
So we're off the map here. I just was using that for the underwater combat. As you sort of emerge out of the water, you find yourself sort of in a up above you, about 6 feet above you. You can see where there once was some sort of a hallway that connected to the main tower, but since the tower shifted, basically that whole hallway was destroyed. You were sort of in a natural cavern that was formed, and about 6 feet above you, straight across from where the water is, you can see sort of where the old threshold is for whatever basement area this would lead into. Just quick mapping in your head, it would be sort of back what would be underneath of the main cathedral building is kind of where this would all, how this would all connect in some way, shape, or form.
Huh.
Iska, do me an intelligence check.
How are we going to get up to that? We're going to climb?
You know what? I'll burn that luck dice. I'll roll one more time.
Okay.
Do you want me to climb? I can climb.
Great.
You got a 15 though.
Iska, you're wet. It's dark. It's cold.
You're annoyed.
You got shocked. Your hair's sort of sticking up a little bit. It literally, the bottom of the threshold's only about 6 feet up. I mean, Luck literally can it's just a little bit, he can actually look like all but with the eye level. It's not super high.
Does anyone know what that was down there? I mean, it was like some sort of goop, but it was moving and
It hurt.
yeah,
It was slimy.
couldn't see it either. Not really well, anyway.
I don't like the slimy.
Also, Vidar, I just noticed.
Hey.
Hey!
Go check out Bird in the Storm, everyone.
There you go.
Right.
Right. So where are we going to go from here? Can we get up there? Are we going to have to climb?
Yeah, like I said, it's only 6 feet.
6 foot,
The
yeah.
bottom of it's only
Hop
6
up.
feet. It looks like it's an old door where it's been. It is. I mean, quick strength check or acrobatics check, or certainly Axe who can climb, or Luck
Yep.
who is a storm giant, basically could just throw people up there.
Yeah, Axe will just scramble up.
Fastball special.
As you scramble up, Axel, and the rest of the people are getting up, you find yourself in this space. I need you to do a perception check at advantage.
Yep. You would be looking around. What cannot be seen?
With the 16, as you sort of step across the threshold, there's a sort of a short hallway that then leads into an arched doorway that is open. Before you take another step forward, a wave, familiar wave, that sort of tingling sensation washes over you. It is familiar and something that is indelibly marked in your mind. You feel that sort of draining pool that you felt in Reginald's Tower of something pooling magic, and the magic here is not flowing correctly and is being pulled towards something. It is very much the same feelings that you had in Reginald's Tower when you first experienced and learned the Death Rune, as you saw your own
Yeah.
against as the tree came in contact with you.
Yeah, fun.
The rest of you all start making your way, and all of you are sort of standing there around Axel.
Can you feel it training your magic? So remember the trees, the sentinel trees? Can you feel that?
Yep, Vidar,
Like
you will
it down
remember
here.
this because you were with us at Moss Hollow, the big tree. you
Moss
fought
Hollow, yeah,
outside
that's
of
the other
Moss
one.
Hollow. It's that same feeling.
And the same, I think, similar tree in the middle of the vice as well, although that wasn't probably the same effect because it was the vice.
You're correct.
Ooh, that's interesting then.
Iska, you feel it as well. All of our magic users do. Even Celia, you feel it somewhat from your single spell. Luck, I guess, would now as well. No, Luck does not feel it.
It's not a perceptive man.
Actually, he's got a high perception. You could be like, what?
I'm being silly. I'm being silly.
Yeah. Say what?
What?
Well, this is.
There's an arched doorway in front of you about 10 feet ahead of you.
I'm
This
gonna.
hall's about 10 feet wide as well. 15 feet tall.
Kind of look around the arches for any kind of runes or anything that are active.
Seems just like a standard architectural arch. I mean, it's made of stone. It's the same stone, that sort of white bleached limestone that the cathedral was made out of.
Huh.
With your dark vision, you are able to see into the next room. There's a large chamber into the next room. It is, with your devil sight, something odd is occurring with your devil sight. You cannot see as far as you normally would, and You know that it normally penetrates even magical darkness, but perception here seems to be... It's not darkness. It is... shimmery.
Alright. So usually I can see very well through any sort of dark, through any darkness. This is a shimmer. There is something reacting in there.
Does
It's like a
Just
field of some sort.
question for this draining stuff, does it feel like we're actually hindered in any way? Like mechanically, are we hindered in some way? Or is it just feels like we're...
You do not feel hindered. It's just disconcerting. It feels like someone's trying to pull your magic out of you. Like after you use a spell slot, you sort of feel as though you're emptying the tank. It feels as though someone's trying to siphon, or something is trying to siphon magic off of you. It's just like, it's like a tug. It's like if someone's like, it's like almost like a breeze or a wind that's not knocking you over, but you can feel that pressure.
Okay.
Trying to
I'm
pull.
going to...
Go ahead.
Oh. No, you go ahead. You had a thought. Okay.
Hey, Vidar, step back with me for a second. And I
Okay.
just kind of want to get some distance between this.
Mhm.
You know, you said this is a recent feeling we're feeling, so I want to just back up a little bit.
You did not feel it down below, sort of on the shore that you were on. It seems as though when you've entered up into this hallway, almost as though, you know, you're sort of in the, because you're a gunslinger, you're sort of in the barrel of whatever this effect is.
Okay. I'm going to ask Vidar to return with me just a little bit a ways away, just so we don't feel that pull anymore. And when we get there, him saying that he's having, you know, normally he can see what's actually happening. This is super weird. So she's going to cast her new spell. She's going to tell him to, okay, if there's something up there that's messing with your vision, let's see if this helps. And she is going to cast True Seeing on him. So for the next hour, he can see the universe. My God, it's
literally
full of
does that.
stars.
Can he see the weave?
Vidar, because of the way your brain works, you see as Iskrin saw. You see the weave.
Nice.
Oh my god, there is fucking tears coming from his eyes as he weeps and just looks at her. Hands go straight to her cheek and just brings her in.
What?
This not. I'm sorry, we called you meh back then. I can see again properly. As Ishkrin could.
You've got 59 minutes of this left. Don't waste them all squeezing my face, please.
Kisses her on the forehead.
Yeah.
You two all right down there?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna do a thing where I'm gonna become a little bit lighter. I'm gonna cast a jump spell at will.
Okay.
Just be like, all right, and he just shoots up out of the water. Thank you.
Just super happy Peter Pan moment.
Yeah.
Truly.
Glitter falls behind you from the
He
earlier
can jump,
starlight
he can
spell.
jump, he can jump,
He
he can
can
jump.
jump. He can
Suddenly
jump. He gets to
Iskrin
the
is back
arch.
amongst us.
He gets to the arch. What does he feel on the spell?
You
And what does he see? Holy
currents.
fuck.
You see currents of magic. You know, the magic on Axel, on Celia, the little bit of fire magic. You see Iska's magic even down below you before she gets up to you, sort of being drawn up. Axel, just how much he's grown in his magic, is shining like a beacon and just getting pulled again towards this space. In front of you, in that room, you see two things. You see the familiar darkness of deep necrotic magic. And unexpectedly, a huge concentration of the Void Weave. Not the Chaos Weave, the Void Weave. That absence of the weave that is the void. Interestingly enough, you do see a golden glow around Luck that is unaffected by the currents that is affecting all of the arcane magic here, but is not affecting the divine. And the other interesting thing is the Dagger of Natural Causes is not being affected by this as well, as it is of divine origin. Of natural death.
Okay. Axel, you look fantastic. There's honestly a whirlwind of energy swirling around you. It's fantastic. Your hand on the other, your paw on the other hand, is giving off whatever's in there is giving off insanely similar amounts of magic to what's going on with your hand. You need to get that checked out more.
You get that checked.
Get that checked, please. But there's intense necrotic energy coming from there. There is absence. There is absolute absence. The void is in there. But guess who's not? Yes, like, I don't know, this is like a center point of the void within there. I don't know. Our magic's being drawn to it. Guess what? Hand on the back to Luck.
I didn't do it.
No, you're fine. Your dagger. Can we borrow your dagger, sweetie? Whatever's in there, it's zapping my magic, Iska's magic, and Axel's magic. But it seems that Luck, and his eyes are just beaming. He's
Really beams.
just like,
It's lighting up the room.
and the dagger is unaffected as well. So I think whatever's in there can be killed, or whatever. If this is similar to the Guardian Tree from back at Lost Hollow, someone is going to have to stab a tree. I feel.
Void magic, you say, and the only other situation of that has been when we jumped across the device, and when Celia jumps.
Yep, and
Yes.
one other place. Back at Elevation Pit,
Ah,
the
yes.
giant skeleton of the Nether.
The giant skeleton.
And it's drawing in all the magic of the surroundings into an intense necrotic energy. It feeds off Genasi, I imagine.
Oh yes. However, the divine, look at Luck, is perfectly fine. You'd have thought. Not me.
All right, Luck. Looks like you and I are going in. Come on.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, I have to go anyway. We
Y'all-
need to see what's going on.
The threshold's only about 15 feet in front of you, so
Well,
Vidar, as you can look in there and see, it seems to be an empty space. I mean, it does not seem to be occupied by anyone that you can see. Of course, the room is larger than this hallway that enters into it, so
so if we walk down the hallway with them until we get to
you can get to the threshold and get a good look at the whole room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we'll follow them down, but
Yeah, we'll head
they'll
down.
have to do the whole task, whatever it is.
So, Luck, Cilia in the front, Axel, Vidar right
Yep.
behind.
Certainly keep an eye on what's going on.
Okay. You all move forward, and as you come forward,
Dark's
you
giddy.
see a large room. It is about 60 feet long. It is about 50 feet wide. It is filled with large tables. There are also large sort of vats in here of different liquids. You do see all sorts of alchemical equipment in here. It is a lab of some sort. You see sort of these suitcase-sized shipping crates sort of stacked over on one side. On the other, don't even need a perception check. Unmistakable. One corner is sort of these stacked shipping crates. Over against the wall to your right-hand side, you see about a 3-foot tall guardian tree, one of these trees that you saw before. It seems, Vidar, you would see this with your sight. It seems to have a field, some type of magical arcane field around it, a barrier that is you're getting a feeling of nullification from it, but it's not able to completely nullify the effect of this guardian tree. As I said, there's necrotic and void magic. You see a small plinth over on one side. There's just lots of equipment here. The biggest thing that you see, Vidar, all the walls are inscribed with arcane, non-detection magics. This is hidden from most every type of magical sight, even apparently your physical sight before entering this room and having the true seeing.
They didn't want anyone to find this place. Of course they didn't.
Does the equipment look familiar? Did we run into it back when we were dealing with the Black Scale Dragon gang people?
It is similar but not exact. This seems far more refined, far more expensive. This is a very well-equipped alchemical and arcane laboratory.
Yeah.
But I was going to look around for some notes or anything, if there's any books
Yeah.
laying open all around.
Okay. Do me an investigation check for anyone who's going around and starting to poke and prod and touch things.
Yeah,
I'm also keeping
I'm
an
gonna
eye out
make
with
sure-
my true sight.
Yeah, it's like, Vidar, can you just keep an eye out for like anything magical, any traps?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking out for as well.
12.
That is a 21.
I knock over a pot and I just am like, maybe
I'm
not.
done.
No.
Yeah. So, Luck, you sort of knock over a vat of liquid and it just sort of spills across the floor. It is awful. It smells awful. There was something in it, like semi-degraded sort of bone or something small. Celia, you see one thing and one thing only, because as you do, there are they weren't immediately obvious, but as you approach, you're able to see them. They were somehow warded as well to just sort of almost to just kind of like the chameleon circuit of the TARDIS, that you just sort of, your eyes slip off them, that you just kind of don't see them. There are two large double barn type doors against the far wall from where you entered. They are closed. Since you were investigating, they are locked. You didn't go any further than that. If you want to go further and deeper into your investigation, you can. Axel, Vidar.
Vidar rolled intimidation.
I'm sorry?
Vidar, you rolled intimidation.
Yeah.
Tell me your secrets!
Needs to come out.
On investigation, again, this is just this strange warding that's around this place. That it wants you to, it's almost like everything in here wants you to not remember it, to not pay attention to it. It's like when you can't find your toothpaste when it's sitting next to the sink. Everything sort of has that feeling. But Vidar, one thing that does draw you is this plinth. There is a socket in the center of it. There is a definite weave of communication magic with this. There is it's as though it's this plinth that has a socket in it for something to fit in it. The void magic that you saw seems to be concentrated in the vats. As they asked you to point out, you point out where you see Celia just keeping an eye on your girlfriend. Those doors are trapped, arcanely trapped, with necrotic magic.
Okay, so that's where necrotic magic's coming from. The doors, Celia, don't touch it. First, Axel, I'd say tried to dispel it. A lot of the void magic is coming from these vats. What can I say that's in the vats if I give them a wipe over?
It is. They are not clear. It is dark liquid, and you can. They are sort of like stainless steel on the side. The top of them are open. They are about 12 feet across, and it is just this dark, rippling liquid on top of them. You do not on your 17. You can't see through the liquid to see what's inside.
Okay. I'm just gonna start looking around for notes or anything that's in that area. Just on it.
There's a desk nearby. Do me another investigation check to see.
I'm gonna use that advantage. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chit. And so investigation, number 1, 18.
On an 18, you didn't notice it before. Over there, you don't see many notes here, surprisingly, as though this person, whoever it was, with all this necromantic magic, you can assume that it was your friend, Beldrick. But there's not a lot of note-taking here. He doesn't seem to keep things in paper, not a lot of evidence around. However, on an 18, as you go around by the desk, you do see on the side of one of the vats, there is a sort of control panel looking thing. There's numerous buttons on it. You spot it, but you can't immediately figure out how to operate it. It's not intuitive at all.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that and then get a silly and say, while Axel's playing with that door, could you come over and have a look with Lad at this thing? I don't want to start pressing things that look like
Yep.
they connect to void energy. Lad would be good here too.
So,
Yeah.
who's doing what? So if you want a tools check with advantage, as with Thieves' Little Helper, what's Iska up to?
Yeah.
You see Lad Jr. hop out. Sort of does the number of brush ups thing, like no problem, and immediately motions of this lever up, that down, that there is a like a flush all but tight button, yeah, he could, whatever you want to do, he could, if it can do it, he can make it happen for you with this control panel.
Cool. Did the socket insert, just stepping back a little bit, did the socket insert look like something would fit in it if you placed a little something? I don't know, maybe a talisman or such?
Yeah, it seems to definitely, it's almost gem-like. It's sort of like as though a faceted gem might fit inside of it.
Do we have a gem, anyone? Actually, why am I coordinating this? All right, guys, what are we going to do? Let's go. Advice, please.
Axel's busy dispelling the magic, showing if we can disable the magic on the doors.
Okay, go ahead and do me a Arcana check to see if you beat this spell, because it is not of...
Actually, can I aid him? Or just give him... Of what's happening here, or give him advantage, or just a bardic inspiration, whatever.
Bardic inspiration, that's fine. Either one, you can do advantage or bardic inspiration. Actually,
so extra D10
you can do
to
both,
Axel,
because you can use a help action and give him bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Great, I would love to do that.
What's the bardic? D10.
D10.
34.
So on a 34,
35.
35. Arcana,
No, it's 34.
34 Arcana check. You do dispel it, and you also get a feel of what it was. This was nasty trap, very nasty trap indeed. It was a certainly far beyond even Axel's spell skill level. that would basically do a burst of necrotic damage to pretty much everyone in the entire room, and people would have very little ability to be able to avoid it. It was meant to wilt them away.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
It's like a very high-level blight.
Yeah, it's fun.
You can do me a intelligence check, Axel.
Intelligence. 6.
You were concentrating on your spell.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to
Well,
do with this vat?
That's disabled.
Good. Is there anything like dangling in the vat, or
No, it's everything.
No.
If there's anything in there, it's below the surface of the water.
nothing above it?
Nope.
Should we? Let's see what up does. Can we see what up does, friends? Or do we want to leave this completely, or flush it?
Well, if you remember the Black Dragon Syndicate, the Black Cloud Dragons Syndicate, that one back there on the way to the Vice, there was the same similar a fluid that had been injected into the dragon. That was very much kind of processed, maybe not in the same way.
So let's try it down then.
What gem?
There was a gem in, along with some of the other items that you got in Baldrick's. There was a communication gem.
Oh, communication gem.
Axel would remember that. I know.
Yes,
I made you. I rolled for it because
Yeah.
you've got such a. Usually your intelligence checks always nail it, but
Yeah, usually, but he's distracted.
literally last night you picked up. Yeah, you picked up this.
Yeah, no, I
picked up-
forgot about the communication gem. Hold on a moment. Walks over.
Up, you say. Lad Junior basically presses a series of buttons, and you do hear sort of as though something engage, and the water sort of begins to vibrate in this vat of liquid, and you see slowly emerge from the from within this vat upon a grate so that the fluid sort of stays within. You see a small netherwing whelpling with huge overgrown wings. These sort of bat-shaped wings, but their membranes sort of look like insects, like an insect dragonfly instead of sort of the leather of a bat wing. And you see it sort of sprawled out. The netherwing whelpling is probably only 18 inches from nose to tail, but the wings are almost fill up the entire rest of this vat that's 12 feet across.
Well, I summon Lysithia in sword form. Is it dead? So is it just laying on a grate?
It's laying sort of on the grate. It does not seem to be breathing.
Is the axe glowing?
I'm sorry?
The dragon axe.
The dragon axe is not glowing.
Sorry. Yeah. Well,
Celia holds Vidar back for a moment. She says, hold on a moment. And I'm going to stealth up a little closer. Because that's what Celia does. not terrible. And oh wait, before she walks away, she looks to Axel. She says, "Hand me the ring."
Oh, I think he handed you the ring.
Or he gave
He
it.
hasn't
Remember, it was
given it
tied
back.
in his hair.
Yeah, I think he gave it back to
He
you.
gave it back.
When you.
You did? Okay.
Yep. Oh, you
he
actually
took-
woke up with it in your hand. He used it as part of the resurrection ritual.
Oh,
So he
that's
never took
right.
it back
Yep.
after that.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember. Yep. So she kind of fixes it onto her hand and walks over to it, and she's gonna punch it and banish it.
Yeah, you punch it and you see it disappear. Roll the time and the damage, if you will.
Okay. Oh yeah. Time is 1d4 plus 1.
Yep.
So 4.
So, and for it would be 10 for each
I'll
round.
just
It would-
yeah, it's
So it'd be 40 points of damage. Basically, 24 seconds later, it reappears. It seems completely unaffected.
yeah. So it wasn't born in the void then.
It wasn't born in the void.
It wasn't born in the void. It would have stayed.
If it was actually another wing, it would have been able to. If it had died, it would have been like Kira Lydron, disappeared, turned to glitter.
Unless it was processed into all this.
Oh, that's so much worse. No wonder
I
it's a
mean-
dragon. So that explains the dragon skeleton. If these now have a permanent home in this world, thanks to the that's great. Oh, that's bad. But hey, at least we can properly kill them now.
I mean, this was always their breeding ground. They arrived here and this became their breeding ground. Only some of them were banished to, locked away, and then they returned. And not the choir. What was the fairy tale children's song called?
Oh, the feeders.
The feeders.
Yeah, the feeders. They are here and fed like the one we encountered in the Vice was overgrown and malformed and greatly beyond what it should have been, right?
Yeah.
I think they're just harvesting these and studying them for presumably the Mystica's purposes.
Okay.
In the same way that they were doing the same to the Genasi. Processing.
I'm gonna cut this thing's head off.
You're welcome to. Luck, what are you up to? You've spilt some stuff. There's a stack. There's a chair actually over by the stack of crates and all that sort of stuff. If you want to go sit down, or are you wandering around the room?
It's gonna wander around. We'll throw up a divine sense. Why not? See if anything shows up.
The entire room pings of the undead.
Oh.
So when I cut at that head, what happens?
Oh no!
He looks at Vidar. Vidar!
The head comes right off.
The vision.
Vidar.
Gigantic skeletal dragon.
I pick up
Vidar.
the head.
We are in the middle of a giant undead thing nest. Everywhere right now is undead.
Is it an undeath necrotic energy? Give me a
Yes.
minute. Settle down and detect magic, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to say, your sight's still up, Vidar. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You see, I mean, necrotic, this is a necrotic focus. This room is meant to harness necrotic and void magic.
Oh,
Can Axel determine that? Does Axel know that? Can he hear that? Do they share this information?
Yeah, no, it was said, this room's supposed to keep this thing alive and retain this necrotic energy and void magic. It might be what's keeping it from, going to glow.
No, this is a power source. A life force. That would power a giant vision. A giant skeletal dragon burning. Because it was a giant skeletal dragon, was it not?
Mm-hmm, it was.
Yeah.
Axel,
Like telling
as you
her.
finish your spell,
Blacktown, oh god.
as you finish your detect magic, and it is different, of course, than Vidar's, as your mind works differently and has been touched by the dragon runes. On the grate, as the liquid drains away, there's a shudder that goes through you. Because glowing in your eyes, it's not a dragon rune, but some perverted form of rune that holds the antithesis of your your dragon rune magic.
The Telenoir. He pulls out his dragon rune book. It's the opposite of this. Twisted and malformed. Is that the only dragon rune? Is there other? Oh,
It's the only one that is in your sight right now.
I'm going to look around then and try to look for those for dragon rooms, similar to what, or opposite to what Axel cast, looking for void and necrotic.
I mean,
like
the
high
biggest thing
focuses.
both of you all see with your sight is the now 2 double doors, which are unprotected.
yeah.
Celia
gonna cut
wants
the
to
wings off.
see how that necrotic sap is reacting to being in here.
You pull
Oh,
it
let's
out,
look at
the necrotic sap. It's sap. I mean, it doesn't move on its own or anything. You can't tell whether it is getting stronger or weaker. There doesn't seem to be, there's no visible reaction to it. As you hold it up for Axel and Vidar to look at, you do see that it seems to be absorbing. It seems that there's a tiny current, but the most of that pool is moving towards the tree, even though it is behind that giant force field, so to speak, arcane field.
It's quite possible that the tree works as a drain on something, or it's
So the tree is absorbing not only our magic, but also the void and necrotic energy, yeah?
or police at least keeping them here. There's a lot of things that can terrorize.
Yeah. I cut the wings off the wing.
You continue your mutilation of the Netherwing.
I mean, yeah, it's Vidar and it's another wing. What does he expect?
It's been 355,000 years. I want to end this eventually. Never wins. Completely.
So,
Axel, do me. I'm sorry, not Axel. Luck, do me an investigation real quick as you wander around the room. Or perception, if you'd like, if you don't want to be touching things.
Just nothing good today.
Yeah, the only thing that catches your eye is this stack of crates just is over there in the corner.
Let's have a look at them. See what's in them.
They are suitcase-sized crates. One of them, the lid hasn't been nailed down yet. As you open it up, you see within it a matched set of rendered Genasi stones. About the size of a heart. One of each element, or four that you can tell there are 4 different colors and different textures about them. There's about a dozen of these crates.
How the hell do we deal with all of this? Destroy them? Try and purify them? What?
That's going to take a lot of time to look into. I think... Well, of course, everyone above needs already knows. Unless we have a ceremony of sort. Until we can do something, I don't know.
Let's take them to Luna.
Yeah.
Give them a proper burial, a proper rest at some point. We'll leave them down here if we can.
Until we can release ourselves. Until. Okay. Do we want to have a look at what's behind those 2 doors? Do we want to put the gem into the socket? What do we want to do? This is all a lot.
Is there nothing else in this room, Jay? Like, seems pretty well investigated.
Tables. There's
at this
about
point.
4 or 5 of these vats. These large vats. You've got 5 or 6. They look like very large, sort of operating tables. There is lots of lab equipment, lots of arcane, arcanist type.
Can I just do a search for any sort of literature, any notes, any scribbles, anything? Just, I don't know, just something here.
Yeah, go ahead and do a investigation check.
I'm gonna burn and actually I'm gonna see what happens. Let's see what happens. Can't roll for
yeah,
shit.
not
anymore.
rolling good for these ones.
I'll burn a luck dice on
again,
it. See what happens.
okay.
I'll burn a luck dice. Nothing, dude. It
What
ain't
a
happening.
tease.
It ain't happening.
Yeah, again, there don't seem to be lots of notes down here. Beldrick did not keep records. He must have kept things either in his head or in some other arcane way or in another place for whatever he was working on down here.
Axel is sitting down, probably for a little while at this point when they're sitting around, but he's gotten out the book from the laboratory in the cave, and he is flicking through that to see if he can figure out anything of properties that catch his eye, anything that's maybe translatable from the Genasi rendering to the Netherwing rendering, or catalyzation that they can do with each other. Is there a connection that he's just searching through these notes?
Do me an
the cave.
intelligence check.
Right. That one. I'm going to use a bardic inspiration. So I have those, but I wish I had that advantage. 9.
On a 9,
These rolls, man.
there's a piece. Apparently, there's a piece missing. There is a piece of this puzzle, and the only thing that everything points towards is whatever's behind these doors.
Yep.
While Axel's been sitting, could I have asked Lad to bring up each and every one of the vats?
Yeah, Lad goes around and you see the same thing. More of these small little netherwing whelplings with giant wings.
Right.
Oh dear.
Let's take the plot train through the double doors.
Through the double doors.
I come back with, would you say 5 or 6 vats?
6.
6 Neverwing heads.
Okay. They're about the small. I don't know another way to describe it. About the size of a cat's. They're.
Understood.
Yeah.
A small creature.
As you go to even touch the doors, they seem to magically slide open, almost like in Star Trek. Just. Axel, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
He's not even paying attention when they open these doors. He's thinking of things. So, yep. Cool.
The motion catches your eye, and
Oh no.
Axel, out of the corner of your eye, your heart all but stops for a second. What is revealed behind the doors, there's an inclined wall, leans back at about 30 degrees, and you see what to your eyes is about a 9-foot tall nightmare. The reason it catches in your throat is because what it looks like is a corrupted version of Riley. The sinew and muscle has been created from a guardian tree. Arcane forged plating forms armored skin that's covered in these disturbing glyphs. In the center of its chest, you recognize the design of Bati's heart mechanism that he used on those little fey creatures and on Kiralydron. But this one is embedded with 4 Genasi stones and spread out, spanning the entire width of the wall. 16-foot long netherwing wings. They're big membranous wings that have been attached to this abomination's back. And in fact, you hear that word from Sithrax. Abomination. It is infested with sigil serpents. Let me show you. And you see Sithrax's head basically encompass yours. And you look through Sithrax's eyes, and wrapping through all of the sinew and muscle, you see these strange little like purple snakes, similar to Sithrax, but not the same, as they weave and twist amongst this construct as though it's infested like with maggots or parasites. And through his eyes, you see more clearly those runes, these void glyphs, the antithesis of your dragon runes and of what has created both Riley and Sithrax, has now created this.
Yeah, he's just frozen. Shock, terror.
All the rest of you see this sprawled out as well in front of you.
This is disgusting. This needs to be destroyed. We need to cut this Genasi gems out. We need to get him out of there.
Axel slowly sort of stands up and approaches, just like he would approach, a cautious cat, just approaching slowly but determined.
Vidar, Axel, as you start to approach, you both can see around it in that room the weave of transmutation magic. A very similar piece of transmutation as Axel just learned it in multiple runes around the wall of this, around the walls of this, as perhaps some sort of something, fail-safe.
Disintegration. Is that Sax? Yeah, he's got to do, but he's going to walk close as far as he can, close to where he's not going to trigger anything. Actually, does he have the state of mind to do that? Is actually the question. 15. He walks right up to that thing. And he is going to look over every single one of those runes. Are any of them the perversions of the runes he knows? Are there any he doesn't? Or are they only his?
There are ones you have not learned. There are ones that you do see. The biggest one you see is the rune of unlife. The opposite of Riley's rune. You also see a rune of undeath, which has been blended together with this one. They are not active, as they are not complete at this point. There are others around it as well. A perversion of Gate. A perversion of Cosmos.
Well, what I'm asking is this like his exact opposite, or?
It is not the exact opposite. There are
there are things that don't line up with.
There are
what
things
he
that do
knows.
not line up with your book.
Yeah. So he relaxes. You just see a. And then he disintegrates it, or attempts to.
How do you want to attempt to trigger these runes?
Oh no, he's using his.
Oh, that works too. So yeah,
Just like.
you can go ahead and roll me up. That it has no dex save because it's not
Yeah.
in motion.
Can I assist in any way, shape, or form?
He just like is like he's just staring at it, standing there, and then he snaps up hands and blasts it in like a moment. There's no build up to that. Also, yeah, destroys anything non-magical, just disintegrates it automatically. Yeah, he's not getting those runes. He's not getting those stones out either.
Yeah, no. As you basically shoot off your disintegration, as its spell builds, you actually see this entire ring of other disintegration runes around you kick in, basically magnifying your spell by 12 times for each rune, and just utterly destroy what was on there. Whoever was building this had a healthy respect and fear for what they were creating. Do me an Arcana check real quick.
Alright, and now he's going to get out the papers and make notes. Because somebody was doing what he wants to do, just in the way he doesn't like it.
On a 20, you get the feeling that any spell, any expenditure of magical energy whatsoever inside that rune would have set off all of those disintegration runes.
No, he was pretty much standing right in front of it. Is he in danger?
They seem to be focused on that wall,
Yeah.
and on that table. This was someone who was with basically a merest of thought could destroy what they were working on.
Right. So turns around, walks over to the table, sits down, gets out papers, and starts making notes. Because he's learning from this. Because it wouldn't be Axel if he didn't.
Okay, good experience to learn from, but maybe not here.
Yeah, he was silent this whole time. You guys just watching.
Are you? Do you hand over the crystal, the communication crystal, while you're taking notes, or?
I think he probably would have just put it on a table next to that plinth before this all happened.
Okay.
Like when we were investigating the vats, he would have noticed that there was a connection here and just put it there, right next to it.
I'm just gonna look at Vidar. I was gonna say that crystal sitting there is a crystal sitting next to a socket.
Right where it will fit.
Right. While Axel's that was interesting. While Axel's having a moment, shall we find out? Shall we find out who is on the other end of that line? And he's going to take the crystal, look back at the rest of the group, wait for some sort of objection. If there's not one in 6 seconds.
2, 1.
So this crystal is going to put us in touch with whoever's on the other end of it, right? Do we know how? Do we know how? Is it just gonna be vocal? Is it going do we know anything about that? Or
I don't know, but hey.
Are you sure this is safe?
Okay, two ideas. Cast invisibility on. I'll cast invisibility on all of us except for Iska. Do you have something where you can disguise us? Yeah, I know you can turn yourself into someone else. Beldrick. Would you like to become Beldrick for a moment?
oh shit!
You know his voice.
I can do it, or anyone else who wants to pretend to be him.
This is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Incredibly dangerous.
Anyone who wants to talk to who wants to pick up the evil phone? Anybody?
I kind of do, but I don't know what I'm going to say other than I'm going to kill you.
Well, let's not start with that.
That's
Okay.
never a good start. Well, in some cases. We could not do this.
I think we should.
And we're doing it, Luck.
No, so this is the only chance we will have to have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Celia. What?
We could get a lot of information.
We could, and this is the only chance we have to do it because information about us toppling the church and killing these people is going to get out there soon. So,
And
this is
it's
kind of
gonna
a.
spread real fast.
It's kind of like a now or never.
All right. Fine, I'll do it. They shouldn't be able to see into the area if there's so much non-detection going on, but also if everyone else is invisible.
Can we talk about what you're going to say and how it's not going to be, I'm going to kill you as soon as they answer?
Yes, of course.
If you want to be Beldrick, I will turn you into Beldrick.
You need to play with them.
See what happens.
Make them answer your questions. If they get suspicious,
Just, I would say they're going to wonder why
No,
you're
it-
contacting them at all. Just say that there's been something that's happened at the church. A group of strangers causing issues.
The Neverwing
wait.
just disintegrated in front of your eyes.
There's an uprising going on outside. They're going to hear about us anyway at some point.
they will.
Blame us for it through him.
Because that's what he would do.
And if that other party knows who we are, we'll figure that out then too.
Okay.
Make sure you tell them about my good side.
Yes.
Of course, there was a man on golden wings. So
Are we doing this?
we're
The
Right.
only the only thing I don't know, does invisibility have to be including you? I'm just for the count.
no.
Iska has it as well if it does.
Okay, so we are going to have Vidar as Beldrick and everyone else invisible.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll tell them about that there has been an uprising. Yep. There's been an uprising, and there is a group, the Genasi woman, who,
Tell yes that you're here now. You fled as quickly as you could to the only place you think they wouldn't find you.
and I should ask for what? Sanctuary?
What should you do now? Where should you go now? Who is going to come to protect you? Ask these questions.
I need protection. Yeah. Protection. Protection, where can I flee to? Need to flee.
Instructions. What now?
Don't necessarily ask for protection, ask for instructions.
Instructions,
Always
that's
has
much
me as
better.
Somebody who knows what they're doing. But they
Okay.
also
Oh, I'm stressed.
None of this is going to work, by the way.
No, of course not. Look at Jay. Who cares? Let's find out. It's D&D.
It's a very fun plan. Okay, so are we doing this now? We good?
Yeah. I'm going to cast Minor Illusion on my... Oh, I need a voice change. I need something to
Let me
change my voice.
handle this.
Okay.
I will use Talia's Ballad to completely convert you into a facsimile of Beldrick.
And it
Oh,
does do the
shit.
voice as well.
And then, yeah. And then I will burn a higher level spell to make the rest of us invisible. If it has to be caster, we'll do this. So, all right. Don't fuck up. We'll be here with you mentally.
Yeah, you can send me mental questions and help if you want.
So Iska, first thing, do me a performance check for Talia's Ballad.
I have 2 advantages. I'm burning 1 for sure on this. Performance, please be okay.
On a 23, the spell goes off, but you do feel part of that energy being pulled to the tree. I need you to do another performance check for the invisibility at higher level. On a 21, it takes, but it is taking all of your concentration to hold
Okay,
this invisibility spell.
so Bird the player is. I'm not Bird / Iska we're not helping. It's okay.
Shit. Axel, I'm going to need your focus here too. Right, and I'm going to take the gem.
what?
Yes, focus.
I'm sorry, I gotta go, guys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Alright. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep, sorry we went over. This should be fairly quick though.
Oh, good. Okay, so Jim goes in.
Oh, we are over. Okay, let's go. I
Yeah.
was like, I got things.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
here's
yeah,
the
right.
time change for y'all. You drop the gem in, and you see the image of a high elven woman. Elegant robes, a medallion around her neck, a vaulted symbol of the Arcana Mystica that she wears around her neck.
It's the Archmistress.
She is it's almost like a hologram in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's that type of an idea.
Yes.
And you realize this is a message.
Oh. Ooh.
Necromancer Beldrick, we await your final shipment of the element stones. Delays will not be tolerated. The upgrades you have developed there at the cathedral are being integrated into the rest of the Void-forged forces immediately. On the other matter, the Burnished Star has indeed made their way to the Conclave and into good hands. They will fit nicely into our plans for the week leading up to the convergence. The Talanois still eludes my direct sight, but they have made quite an impression in Sojourn's Crossing. The last piece we need to perfect our Void-forged forces, I believe, lies in a construct that is traveling with those adventurers that humiliated you in your own house. They are headed to the Conclave. Do what you will with the rest, but get me that construct at all costs. And the message
Oh, no.
ends. And that is where we end our session.
We are dimension dooring up to Riley, and we are putting him in that ring, and we are going to.
He's Mirage, so
We're running away. We're just gonna just like make a small little hut for him.
yeah, Riley's in danger. Did you not hear about the army of
The
Void Forged?
Sorry, did you? Riley's in danger, but there's an army on its way. So,
Like, Axel is very much aware of the danger that Riley has always been in.
But here we are now. Not
Here we are.
great. Not great.
Okay. Void-forged army, so that's enhanced nether wings, Burnished Star, in the good hands of some asshole.
Who we know.
Yeah,
know
who
who
we
that
know.
is. It's
Yeah,
the-
I don't.
Chanta.
Callista.
Yep.
Right?
Callista
Callista,
has Callista. I mean, Vidar doesn't know.
No, we
Just a. Oh yeah, you told me about it, but I've never met him personally.
Oh, yeah.
And now we got this.
we're in trouble.
Did we
We
tell
need
him
help.
that Callista was the one? Did we tell Vidar that Callista was the one who was under the cloak with the staff? Who dealt with the Netherwings?
Ooh.
Because we got that impression, or at
You've
least
got
not confirmation, but
I think
Under
you've
the
got two
cloak,
people.
it
I
looks
think
like
you've got two people mixed
jewelry.
up. Callista's the Gold Dragonborn. Who
oh
was
no,
the head
yeah,
of,
another
yep.
one.
yeah.
another
The
one,
other one
sorry.
is the Enchantress.
Enchantress. Got it mixed up.
Oh God, I gotta
Yep.
get the
I could
Enchantress.
lie.
I gotta get it with her. I can't
Yep.
think.
Yeah.
I keep thinking. It's
God.
Archmistress still there, Garanor, and Enchantress. I can pull it up. But
Something.
the
No worries.
Enchantress.
I was just getting them mixed up because I was
Yeah,
like,
because she wears all the
shit,
jewelry
fingers.
around her. She wears all the jewelry around her necks that look like stars underneath of the cloak.
Yeah.
The dark
Callista's
blue
a
cloak.
golden dragonborn. We know they're pretty chill.
Yeah, the golden dragonborn with the golden sword you saw in your vision is
Yep.
Callista. Anyway, let's go around real quick. As we see what might lie ahead for our party in this last one. Let's start off. Everyone's in the wrong place with the wrong names, but just say who you are and where we can find you. We'll start with Bird.
I'm Bird versus Play, and you can find me here on Saturdays and on my own channel and Twitter at the same name, where I'm occasionally playing other things like Ruiner this morning. And I'll probably keep doing that. And man, we're gonna hashtag protect Riley.
Next up, we have our good friend Templar Warden, whose son is in danger.
Ah! No. Everything Axel is at this point has been. Oh God. Yes. So I am Templar Warden. I am playing Hidden by Axel, the really, really upset Baxi Wizard, whose son is in danger. That's good. Yeah, Baxi Wizard. You may find me anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden. You may find me on Twitter at Reign Templar. You may find all of us. Find all of us in the Discord, which I will link in chat, where you can, of course, talk about the show, talk about other shows, chat, all sorts of things. Does anyone have a pun today?
Oh yeah, we did. Well, we didn't have an Alicia. She'll do 2 next week. Next up, we had Good Guy Pie.
Hi, I'm Good Guy Pie. You can find me on Good Guy Pie on the Twitter. No, Good Guy Pie on the Twitches. Good Guy Too Good to Guy on the Twitters, and I have been recently mainly streaming a game called Catherine. I I may sit down and stream it for an extended period of time again very soon to get another ending, because apparently that is my life now. Blocks and terrible cheating on your girlfriend dating advice.
And last but not least, dragons are cats. How'd you like that for justice?
That was justice, man. That you did us justice. Holy. I'm Dragons are Cats. Baby Neverwing Murderer extraordinaire. Boy. We're dead. We're dead. This is gonna be so much fun the next few sessions. We're dead. Let's go to the Conclave. We're dead. Shit.
I am Tall Squall. I am your host. I hope you had a great time. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for supporting our channel across the board. Things and stuff and things. And next week, we will have a guest player. So stay tuned as things are heading quickly. As I said, this is the week before the Conclave, and someone seems to have something planned for the week before the Conclave. Anyway, so we will have a guest player next week joining us, and we will see y'all then. Until then, gather your friends together and tell a story, and join us on our raid of Ascension Stories, which we are on our way over there. Have a great one, everyone. Good night.